Greetings and hello, and welcome to another episode of The Last Video Store, the show where I, Alexi Toliopoulos, will talk to cool, funny, interesting people about their favorite movies in the style and old school video store rental combo of one new release, two weeklies, and then a staff pick recommendation from my big old movie brain based on their taste. And on the show today, producer M, who do we have?
We have the amazing musician Nick Ward.
Nick Ward, right? I was so excited to have him on the podcast.
Yeah.
This guy is such a cinephile.
Yeah.
I would say after this podcast, we've become good friends. We message quite often.
Really?
Talking about movies, trading movies with each other.
Yeah.
Nick also has a distinction of being one of the few people to have brought donations to the video store. So some of the stuff you see on our set in future episodes are donations from his archives into ours.
And they were so cool. For a young person who I can't imagine was around for much of the crossover from physical media to digital stuff, he had the best stuff.
Oh, he is a true cinephile.
Yeah.
So Nick Ward, great musician. He's been opening for Troye Sivan over the last little while. He's got a great album as well.
The House with the Blue Door.
Beautiful, beautiful album. Lovely music videos as well. That's what I really like about like these movie-loving musicians we've been getting on. A lot of them have really interesting music videos.
That's so true.
But also Nick is like living his true dream right now, which is exploring film composition. He has composed the music for this film that I absolutely adore called Jimpa, an Australian film starring Olivia Colman and John Lithgow. And Last Video Store alumni and customer, Daniel Henschel. It's a really, really beautiful film, Jimpa. We'll talk about it a little bit. I don't think it'll be coming out until next year sometime, but it's played at the Adelaide Film Festival, a few international film festivals as well. I really responded to this film, and Nick's music is a big reason for that. Beautiful film. We have a great chat with Nick. Stay tuned for some deep cuts, I'd say. And truly, I would stick right to the very end because my recommendation to him is one of the very best films I've seen in the last few years. And because Nick is a burgeoning younger cinephile who has always had like everything at his fingertips, he's seen a lot of freaking movies. So I did go deep. And I was looking at his letterbox trying to find like stuff that he hadn't seen before. So I went quite deep. So stick around for that because it's a beautiful, beautiful film, and Nick talks beautifully about movies. So let's get into it. And at the very end of the episode, we'll be coming back to talk more about our Employee of the Month mode because we've had some really good recommendations, and we're getting pretty close to crowning our first Employee of the Month.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
The Last Video Store.
Nick Ward, thank you so much for joining us here inside the Last Video Store.
Of course.
I've been so excited about having you on this show today because I have been stalking your letterbox. You're such a true cinephile. And, you know, I'm so excited to get you in here to talk about some movies. But take me back. Tell me about your introduction to film. Did it start in a video store?
It probably did start in a video store. Like my dad would show me so many movies growing up, and he'd be like, "Son, you have to watch this. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest or Apocalypse Now," or whatever it was. And I think like we just have like a movie night every weekend, and I think a lot of a lot of my memories from my childhood are just sitting on the couch watching movies with my dad.
So your dad was a big film lover?
Yeah, to be honest, yeah. I think like when I was like an angsty teenager, I probably wouldn't have given him that credit, but it's his birthday today, so I should
happy
say
birthday, let it
birthday,
be known.
Dad. But also, yeah, he put me onto some fire, so.
Tell me about any specific memories of the video store. Take me back.
Um,
Paint the picture for me. What kind of video store was it?
It was a Blockbuster, and Blockbusters, I feel like they all kind of look the same. Like I was watching, what's the movie that Dustin Hoffman shows up in a Blockbuster?
That is The Holiday.
The Holiday, yeah. I saw that the
Holiday.
other day, and I was like, they all look the same.
Yeah, yeah.
So I felt I was transported back to my childhood watching The Holiday.
Yeah. Well, tell me about your love of film, because right now you're a musician, obviously, but you've now started composing for films. You've composed a really lovely glowing score for this new film coming out next year, I think, called Jimper, which stars John Lithgow, Olivia Colman, Daniel Henschel, former customer of the Last Video Store.
We love Danny. Yeah.
But I think it's like a really beautiful film, and your score is something that really enhances like this kind of glow and allows like the more, I guess, like the more cinematic elements to come into play, like these kind of, past recollections that kind of come through. Can you talk about, I guess, starting to compose for film?
Well, it's funny because I actually got into making like pop music. It started from having to like not having the copyright to a song that I wanted to use in a short film and having to kind of rip it off and copy it.
What song was it?
It would have been some like Max Richter
Yeah.
song or like an Audi or something, just some
Yeah.
like composer. But I think that's how I kind of started to learn music production. So it's kind of like a weird full circle moment of like now I'm actually was given the chance to like score something properly, and it was like a really condensed process. So it's kind of all a bit of a blur to me looking back. But I don't know. I think I like working with Soph was so much fun, and hearing more about the film and the story behind the film, which is so personal to her. And yeah, I kind of just wanting to come to the table with, being as open-hearted as she was being with, everyone on the crew. So
How do you translate things like that of like the ideas of being open-hearted and the ideas of, this is a movie about love in many ways, but a movie about identity as well. How do you go about taking those feelings and then bringing them into sound? Like, what were you looking for?
Yeah, like I think like we tried to do a bunch of work like over Zoom and over kind of, sending stuff back and forth. And we realized that we really just needed to be in the same room watching the movie with like a little keyboard and kind of just like playing melodies to the screen. And once we found a melody for John, the grandfather in the film, we realized that since all the other characters kind of descend from this one character, the melody could kind of be abstracted a little bit and kind of change for each other character in the film. Yeah,
That's beautiful.
yeah, it was a really fun process.
Yeah, did it take can I ask about like those discoveries of finding those little threads you can bring in? Can you talk about, I guess, the moment of finding those moments, of finding those sounds?
Yeah, like I think like working out the palette of something is usually like the first step. Even with like making a record, it's kind of like what kind of synthesizers do I like at the moment, what kind of guitars. And I think with this film, I actually didn't know how to set up my computer to have like a proper constant tempo throughout the score. So I kind of just didn't want to like ask, because then it would look like I didn't know what I was doing, which I don't. And yeah, so a lot of it was off the grid and kind of free tempo, playing piano while watching the scenes. And yeah, I don't know. It was kind of, I would just just have a couple of goes at a scene, just watch it 7-8 times, and slowly Sophie would be like, yes, that's the one, that note. And we'd piece it together. Yeah.
Well, it's Jimper is the film. It's probably still a little while away from being released.
I think so,
At the time of this episode coming out. But it's one that I would put on everybody's radar. I thought it's really beautiful, very much moved me, made by a great Australian filmmaker.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully people can go check it out, but it is a while away. And I'm really looking forward to talking to you about some of your favorite movies today.
Hell yeah, me
so I'm going
too.
to send you out into the store, Nick, come back with a new release film, a couple of all-time favorites, and then it'll be my duty to recommend you a film based on your taste, hopefully one you haven't seen before.
Okay,
But you've seen a lot of movies. Like, you're a true keen cinephile.
I also haven't seen a lot of movies though. There's a lot more out there,
That's life's great journey, right?
Exactly,
There's always
yeah.
more movies.
I think that's like I was about to say the cinephilic journey, but that sounds a little dodgy.
I know, I like it, and we're allowed to sound a little bit dodgy on this show.
Okay, true. Well, I think part of the cinephilic journey is like thinking you have to watch all this shit and then realizing like it's just about cruise at the end of the day.
Well, then we'll have to get into it.
Hell yeah.
New release.
You've got a big fat stack of movies here. We're going to get straight into with your new release film. This is a film that I'd only just caught up with myself. You've
really
picked up from Bertrand Bonello. It is The Beast.
The Beast.
The Beast.
Art House.
Yeah, tell us about The Beast, because I think it's a film that is quite complex, quite beautiful. It's a mash of genres in an interesting way. But yeah, tell us about The Beast.
The Beast I saw actually at the start of the year while I was in Adelaide working on Jimper. And it was really late at night in a hotel room, and it's just like a really fucked up movie that I think it's one of those movies that could only have been made, I feel like, this year. Like, it literally has like a fucking QR code as the end credits.
The end credits literally are a QR code.
But I also think that it kind of like, I love when movies can, interact with what's going on in society without being fucking corny. And I feel like The Beast does that really well.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, because I think that Bertrand Bonello is a filmmaker I quite like. Made this movie maybe far out 10 years ago now called Nocturama, which I really, really loved. It's set in like this mall, but it's all set at nighttime. I think he's a great filmmaker that is able to use space in an interesting way. This film is a science fiction film.
Yeah.
Though it doesn't really ever feel like a science fiction film. It's set in the near future, 2044, I think. And basically, it stars Léa Seydoux as Gabrielle, who in this future, emotions have become a threat, and she decides to purify her DNA in a machine that will immerse her in her past lives, make her relive them. And the process of doing so would... I guess, like, rid you of strong emotions.
Yeah.
And throughout these past lives, she goes back to these connections where she meets, like, this love of her life across multiple lives, played by George Mackey. And each one of them is, like, a different genre, really. Like, the one in 2044, which is the main setting of this film. I'm using a lot of quote unquote. We're talking about this
The
film.
Beast.
We're doing a lot of clicking for this one. But that is probably more broadly science fiction.
Sure.
I think the way the film accesses that is quite... so intuitive to me. The first thing you see in this film is a giant green screen, and then you see Léa Seydoux acting in front of it.
Yeah.
And there's something in that immediately sets off this feeling of virtual reality.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And also like the data moshing and all that sort of stuff. I feel like it kind of is like, it's a movie that just feels so like confident in what it's doing. It's not, I feel like it, even though there's like some clearly like a lot of references in it, especially in like the kind of modern current day sort of setting, I feel like it just felt like a whole new movie that like I just haven't seen anything like it.
Yeah, and it's got this really strong thematic emphasis on this push and pull of love and fear is the way that I see it. Because it very much is a film about love, about strong emotions, but then the fear of those emotions as well.
Incels.
Yeah,
as well
I mean,
too.
that's in the 2014 segment.
Yeah.
There's like this, one of the best incel storylines I've ever seen, where George Mackey is like an incel who's, I guess, diarising his life on camera, and their connection, like that sequence of the film, and it's all split up. It's all kind of like interjected with each other. That is almost take the shape of a slasher. And I was reading this interview.
Like the Elliot Rodger thing too. Yeah.
Exactly right. I was reading this interview with Bertrand Bonello where he talked about the two big influences for this film were The Age of Innocence by Martin Scorsese. And that is obviously in like
the first period of the movie.
Yeah, like this. What's it called? Like the I can't remember.
I never know what the right word for it is. Yeah, me too.
Just olden days.
Old?
We'll say the olden days.
Olden days.
Some French olden days where everyone's wearing big dresses and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, do you know what the reference is for the more in the slasher style, which is like the contemporary storyline?
I felt it felt really Lynch to me. I thought, like, especially that's. Oh, I don't know what the vibe is on spoilers, but like.
Now we can talk about some stuff. I think. Yeah.
There's I think all the LA kind of set stuff and the person who's trying to intrude into the house towards the end of the film. That just felt like straight out of like Lost Highway or something.
He's talked a lot about how Pasolini and Lynch are like his two big influences.
True, yeah.
And that's good. This film carries that kind of dreamlike quality of both of those filmmakers. Definitely. But he talks specifically about the 1970s movie When a Stranger Calls.
Oh, I haven't even seen it. Yeah,
it's a weird film. Like it's an interesting slasher. I have a lot of fondness for it. It's not great, but it's that first American. Stars Carol Kane, and the first like 15-20 minutes of the first act. is like basically a perfect short film of, you know, the idea of like the calls coming from inside the house is like where that comes from. And a lot of that kind of seeps its way into this film in an interesting way. But yeah, The Beast, it's one film that I think is really going to stick with me.
Totally.
I feel like it didn't get as much, you know, as much recognition here in Australia, at least, as I think it should have.
I don't think it
even
got
a big
distributed
release.
here, did it?
I think it must have played a few times at small like art house cinemas,
Sure.
but nothing, you know, nothing big. Nocturama, same thing a few years ago, which I also really loved. Tiny release here. But this film stars Lea Seydoux, who's one of my favorite actors. I think she's
So
just fantastic in this film. Can you talk
So
to me about
good.
her performance?
Yeah, I feel like her and what remind me of the other guy's name?
George Mackey.
George Mackey. I feel like the both of them have like these very like timeless faces that I think kind of means that they can believably be. And I don't remember what era that first one.
Yeah.
Old, as we were
I
saying.
think I'm trying to remember the saying. I think Belle Epoque or some shit is what I've
Yeah,
heard. But I've never
sure.
said it out loud, so I don't know if I've said it properly. I don't know if I've
right.
used it properly, but I read it
Yeah.
somewhere and I don't know what that means.
Totally. It means something. It means old. I don't know.
I think it means old. I think it means beautiful old in French.
Yeah, exactly. I think she's so good in this movie. Like I've always been a big Lea Seydoux fan, and she always just picks great directors and stuff to work with. But I don't know. I just really believed the chemistry between both of them, which in such like a far-fetched, strange movie shouldn't work, but it does. I
but it
think,
really does.
and kind of hinges on them.
I mean, it has to, right?
Yeah,
It has
totally,
to.
yeah.
I think, like you said, she is so good at picking not just films, but filmmakers to collaborate with. Like, I think that I don't know, she's just a bold actor that has made really great choices.
Definitely,
Across
yeah.
a great career.
love Lea Seydoux.
But that is The Beast by Bertrand Bonello, a great film.
Weekly.
We're going to some of your weekly choices now. Where shall we begin? Maybe shall we start with, I think, one of the best, like true favorite of my film, a film that I've been happy to program a couple of times now. Morvern Callar, 2002 by Lynn Ramsey.
Cult.
I think this is one of the greatest films. After her boyfriend commits suicide, a young woman attempts to use the unpublished manuscript of a novel and a sum of money he left behind to reinvent her life. Can you tell me about the first time you saw Morvern Callar?
Yeah, I've only seen it once actually, and I saw it on Blu-ray, which I see you've got the same one here as well, at home a couple of years ago. And I remember just like it ended, and I just cried for like a minute, it's such a powerful final scene. Not to give anything away, but I think the whole movie is this really pent up. I guess in the movie, I mean, what she's going through, she's bottling a lot of stuff up, and it's like it's a movie that genuinely feels like numb, or like feels like it's kind of taking place in the wake of like a flashbang going off or something. I feel like she's just so in her own head and in her own world and doesn't really know where she's going. But the movie never really drags, or like, I don't know, it just does such a great job of putting you inside this character's head and sympathizing for her, even though she's doing like these insane things. But I think what really like resonated with me on the first watch was the music as well too. Like she's given a mix by her boyfriend on CD, and it's just, I don't know, so many fucking hits on that thing. You know?
Tell me about what's on that CD.
It's like Can, Velvet Underground. I don't know if it's on the CD or if it's just in the film, but there's Aphex Twin. I don't know. I feel like Lynn Ramsey always just chooses amazing music in her movies and knows how to really like, I hate the fucking word, but juxtapose things really well. Like there's the scene with I'm Sticking With You by Velvet Underground playing while she's like dismembering her fucking ex-boyfriend. It's insane. Yeah.
I love this movie. I think
Yeah.
that juxtaposition is such a good. I mean, you may hate the word. I love it. I'm going to use it.
It's
for
also
this
the
as
only
well.
word for what it is. Yeah.
You could say, I mean, they use opposing images
Exactly.
to sound. But I think what this really does, something you really nailed, is Lynn Ramsey, I think, is one of the great experts at perspective in film, at finding the point of view that not only are we going to witness the film from, but how we kind of live in that character's mind, how we
Totally.
experience the world as that character.
Usually someone that we do not relate to at all.
Absolutely,
well, too. Yeah.
right? And it's like you said, doing insane stuff. Like this movie literally begins with someone coming into their home on, I think, Christmas Eve.
It is Christmas, yeah.
And her partner is dead, and he's left basically instructions for how she should release his book. And the moment that this film begins, she goes up to the computer, deletes his name, and puts her name on that manuscript.
Yeah.
And that is such a huge leap, but you end up making it with that character.
Definitely.
And you're kind of forced to be on the journey with that character and see the world through this character's eyes. And it's a kind of character where you go, I can't even imagine the relationship you would have had with this person.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to see what Morvern Callar's life is before this moment. You just come
Totally.
in on that moment and then you experience the rest of their life as them.
So crazy.
And that Samantha Morn performance, I think, is just...
She's awesome. I think she's so underrated.
I agree,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Tell me about her in this movie.
I mean, I think she does such. I mean, you spend so much time with her, so I feel like it's another one of those. I was about to say another one of those movies that hinges on the performance being good, but that's kind of a lot. That's kind of a lot of movies.
Yeah.
I think that she just.
But it's that same thing as you
Yeah.
said, where it's like it is that performance. Like this movie could not work if it doesn't have an expert actor.
Totally.
Being able to truly find this character.
Yeah, I feel like she's obviously grieving throughout the movie and just going through so much, but it just never feels like ham-fisted or over the top or. I don't know whether to attribute to that, to just Sam or if it's the writing for the movie too, but. Yeah, I just feel like you're just so happy to just watch this lady just ride on a train and listen to music for some reason that it works. Yeah.
And it captures this kind of feeling of being stuck. I
Definitely.
think that she really is able to capture this feeling of just being stuck in your place
Yeah.
and making decisions that should be forcing you into like a bigger life.
Totally.
But still
yeah.
being trapped as who you are.
Fully. And like she's, traveling to Spain and kind of doing all these things, but still just has this like hole inside her that I think, towards the end of the movie, you can just see it's just like nothing's really changed at all. Yeah.
And this is set on Christmas Eve. Do you think this is a good Christmas movie?
This is
people?
the best Christmas movie. It's Eyes Wide Shut, and it's what's another fucked up Christmas movie? I'm sure you've got one.
Oh, mine,
Okay.
Catch Me If You Can is one that I really love for Christmas.
Yeah, Catch Me If You Can. Yeah,
I think
never
those-
think about that as a Christmas movie. True.
It's set over
yeah.
like 4 or 5 Christmases.
Okay,
I know
true.
that to me,
Yeah, yeah.
that's the triple Christmas melancholy bill.
Yeah,
that I
yeah,
think
yeah.
everyone should have sitting underneath their Christmas tree.
Morvern Callar,
Yep.
Eyes Wide Shut.
Catch Me If You
Catch Me
Can.
If You Can.
Just to feel the true sadness of what Christmas can actually
Brazil
feel like.
as well too.
Oh, Brazil's a Christmas
That feels
movie?
like Christmas.
Oh, far out.
Yeah,
Okay, we've got 4 movies for you to watch this Christmas.
Totally.
But Morvern Callar by Lynn Ramsey. Lynn Ramsey, I think, is one of the best filmmakers. And I think that with this film, I think it's her second film after Ratcatcher,
Yeah, after
right?
Ratcatcher, yeah.
After that, she makes We Need to Talk About Kevin.
She was supposed to make The Lovely Bones though. I saw.
Really?
Yeah, and then Peter, bloody
Oh,
Peter,
God.
ripped it from her.
I
yeah.
actually would have loved to have seen her Lovely Bones.
Yeah, because I don't really love the one that sort of exists. So I feel like when you think about Lynn Ram, like she would have fucking killed it. But also,
Yeah.
it's Peter Jackson straight off the
Exactly.
Lord of the Rings or whatever. So,
And then
yeah.
she makes You Will Never Really Hear, another great film, kind of a
so
riff on
good.
Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
And then her new film, what's it called?
Die My
Die
Love.
My Love.
Yeah.
Coming out very soon.
Yeah, I think it's on South by.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm literally gonna go see
Oh,
it
really?
in
True.
under 1 week. I can't
Sick.
wait to see
Awesome.
this film. But Morvern Callar, marvelous film.
Yeah.
Do you have any other final thoughts before we get into this fat stack, this little trilogy of films that you've compiled over here?
I've got no more thoughts on Morvern Callar other than you should watch it right now.
Watch it right now.
Yeah.
Truly, this film is one of my all-time favorites.
So great.
I'm so glad someone's finally picked it off the shelves.
Oh,
It's just
hell yeah.
collecting dust over there.
It was.
No one was
Yeah.
talking about Morvern Callar and Lynn Ramsey, but here you've done something quite powerful.
what we do.
You've found a box set of films,
Mm-hmm.
and this is a very classic DVD era thing, which
Yeah.
is they just get one actor and go, let's put 3 random films, put them all together. We've picked up a Tom Cruise box set, 3 films of Cruise, Magnolia, Risky Business, and
Color of Money.
Color of Money by Martin Scorsese. I reckon, where should we start with this box set?
It's hard to say because I think when I was kind of writing down my films, I was just so indecisive, and I was like, I kind of just like fucking Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
And I kind of love everything that he's done, and
Where does that begin for you?
I mean that's something that we have to unpack, in a longer conversation. But I feel like with Tom Cruise, he's just every movie he makes is a 3D movie. Like he's got something that no one else has. I feel like I don't know what you can attribute to. If there's some special dark arts kind of going on behind the screen, but I just think like I'm happy to watch him doing anything.
I think that's so true. Like for me, it is this physicality and like this exasperated energy that he has. Like there's something about Tom Cruise.
You believe him.
Yes, you do. You don't. The guy's never told a lie on screen. Like there's something about him where he's so committed, so in there, but in a movie star way, not like a thespian way.
Totally.
And I think there's something in that has such tremendous value that is addicting to watch.
100%.
The way he moves, like everything about him. Conviction. That's such a good word to use for him.
That's the Tom Cruise word for sure. Yeah.
But I think he's marvelous. I've been a big fan of him forever. I think this is a great 3-pack that you've put together because these are 3 interesting performances. Maybe we should start with Risky Business then.
Totally.
Drama.
Because I think that's what is kind of seen as his breakout. And this is a film that I'm truly convinced nobody has actually seen. Because it's in lots of clip packages. You go, you've got that old time rock and roll. Everyone's seen that. It's parodied so much. It was always in like clip packages on like this shitty Australian TV show 20 to 1. Yeah. Like, hey, we're gonna look at all these clips and have people do commentary over them. Yeah. And they always play that. And I finally caught up with Risky Business last year, and now I'm convinced nobody has ever seen this movie because this is a masterful film.
Definitely.
It is a social satire on capitalism that looks incredible, has the most beautiful soundtrack by Tangerine Dream, and because it's got this surface level beauty, I think it is actually a really strong criticism of capitalism and why a character like Tom Cruise, a young teenage man, being seduced by capitalism, by having a film look and sound so beautiful.
Wow.
And so capitalism so
we're going down this route, hell yeah.
Yeah, you go, I think it's why you go, well, of course he's seduced by it. I think this is...
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's a masterful film. Tell me about... I mean, let's start with the soundtrack. Tell me about that score by Tangerine Dream.
So good. And it just... I think, like, this is one of those movies that just, within 10 seconds, you're like, yes. Like what does it start? It's like it was all a dream. What does it say? Well, maybe it wasn't impactful the first 10 minutes because I can't remember it right now. But I remember it's just like it's straight into voiceover, it's straight into that score. We're zooming into his sunglasses. Like I think the film score just gives it this like propulsion throughout the whole thing. I mean, without this like really beautiful cinematography and beautiful score, it's just a 17-year-old running a brothel out of his house, but it's so much more than that with the whole like execution of the film, and Cruise slays as well.
I think this is one of my favorite Tom Cruise performances. The way
insane.
that I've put it is it's the evolution of the character. I've been really impressed watching Tom Cruise in the 1980s, watching and rewatching a lot of his 1980s films. Yeah. And the way that he has this evolution in this character is so impressive to me. Because he starts as quite like this dorky virgin hanging out with like his little friends and stuff. And by the time you reach the end of his journey in this film, when he kind of actualizes into like this capitalistic nightmare, you feel so heartbroken for him.
Totally.
And I think that he's able to take you on that arc and let you in while still like... I guess he brings you in with his charisma or something with it.
Definitely.
As you see the charisma evolve from being a teenager to, not literally growing up, but taking you on the journey of someone who's actualizing, becoming something else. He's taking you on that arc. Totally. There's something about it that just makes you feel like just heartbroken. And the way this really takes you on a journey from childhood or adolescence to adulthood through capitalism, you kind of see... Like there's this thing where it's like his friends just feel like they just disappear, and I found that really heartbreaking in this film.
Yeah, I guess it's like towards the end of the movie, it's almost like some kind of like reality check or something, And it was. I also have you seen the version? I can't remember if on the Criterion if they do the director's cut or if they have like the theatrical cut. Have you seen?
I think I've seen both. Well,
True.
I just watched the ending to both because it's just like the last few minutes they changed.
Yeah, that they changed and. So different, like the two like kind of feelings that you're left with on both cuts, but I mean, I think they should just only put out the director's cut. I feel.
I think you gotta have both.
Yeah, true.
posterity. I
Okay,
think
yeah,
you
fair
need
enough.
both versions always.
That's a good point.
But I
Yeah.
think this, I truly am convinced nobody's ever seen this movie. They just go, I've got an
Crazy.
idea of what it is in my head.
Yeah.
And they just think it's like this fun John Hughes bullshit, like 80s rom.
So much more than that.
So much more than that. I'm a big John Hughes hater.
Me too. Me too. I fucking hate John Hughes.
I think this is like the actual antidote, and it's like actually commenting on like the Reaganist America of this
Yeah.
time. I think that this filmmaker did not make very much stuff. I think he made like
Paul
two
Brickman.
movies. Paul Brickman
Yeah.
made two movies after this I've never heard of. One called Allison from 2012, and one called Men Don't Leave in 1990.
I'm sure it's better than The Breakfast Club, whatever it is.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully there's quite a few more movies that I think are better than The Breakfast Club.
A lot more.
But you've got two more movies about the Tom Cruise double. Tell me about Magnolia.
Drama.
I think this is like a crowning achievement of Tom Cruise's career, right?
It's incredible. I actually saw it on the big screen the other night. Magnolia's the best movie ever, and I feel like he never made anything like it after it as well too. It almost seemed like when he did that kind
Tom
of
Cruise?
Tom Cruise, yeah, sorry, not PTA. When Tom Cruise did Eyes Wide Shut and then Magnolia, he had this really cool like little run of movies, and then just I don't know, he got scared or something. He just never went back to those like more those darker parts. He kind of just became like an action star, I think, after that. But Magnolia, I think, is probably his best for me. Like, I think it's his best performance. And is it the best movie he ever made?
I don't know.
Are you not a Magnolia guy?
Magnolia is not my favorite
Okay, true.
PTA film,
Yeah.
Paul Thomas Anderson film.
Yeah.
I love Magnolia as well.
Yeah.
Like I think it's fantastic. Like Paul Thomas, it's made my least favorite Paul Thomas Anderson film.
PTA.
But that's still, like,
crazy.
4-star
What's your favorite?
movie.
What's your favorite one?
Honestly, it might be One Battle After Another.
Okay.
I love One Battle After Another. I've seen it twice, and Phantom Thread I really love.
Phantom Thread's really good.
Phantom Thread's the one I find myself coming back to because I think its
Yeah.
pleasures are unique.
So cozy.
So cozy, but
Yeah.
also so funny and so disturbing. Magnolia is the one I probably come to least because it's also like
3.5
10,000
hours.
hours long.
Yeah,
it's
totally.
it's so long, but
Yeah.
it gives you a full experience of life. And it was a kind of film that was very chic in the 90s.
Sure.
Which is this hyperlink film. Multiple stories that kind of tessellate and intersect around each other.
They loved that in the 90s.
They really love
American
that.
Beauty, all
American
that sort of shit,
Beauty, Amoros Perros, like
Yeah,
that
totally,
kind of
yeah.
filmmaking of tessellating stories around each other. They're called hyperlink films.
Yeah,
and I
true.
think Magnolia kind of stands out to me as like the pinnacle of that kind of film.
Yeah.
Because they're disparate stories. They're all set in the same place.
Yeah.
But I think the way it ties the connection to have like this modern day biblical fable type thing, in a very literal way.
Quite literal. yeah.
Quite literal way. I think that's a really effective way to tell one of those stories.
Totally. And I mean, Altman's is great too. And like, I feel like I'm sure he would have been so inspired by seeing all that stuff as well. Yeah, I don't know. I think like it's so crazy that you can have all these literally the best actors in the world in Magnolia.
Yeah.
And Tom Cruise, he still comes out on top. You know?
Yeah, it's the rare Oscar nomination for Tom Cruise, and all his scenes for the most part are like with Jason Robards, one of the great actors,
Yeah.
playing his father, who they're very estranged. His father's dying. He's in bed,
Yeah.
and I think Tom Cruise, I think it's even more potent now to revisit it, to see
Definitely.
him do this like really strong commentary on masculinity through this
Totally.
performance, accessing something like
So
that.
personal as well too. Like even just the stuff with his dad and
Yeah.
like did you hear the thing like with like PTA didn't write that monologue at all?
No.
Yeah, it was like he just kind of said they sit down and talk and have a conversation, and then Tom, I guess, just brought everything else to it, with the whole like kind of, what do you say, like don't go, you fucking bastard, or whatever. Kills me. I love that scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's just such a beautiful performance. It's such a huge swing for Tom Cruise. Magnolia, great movie. You've got one more movie on here. personal favorite of mine when it comes to Tom Cruise.
So good.
From one of the great filmmakers, Martin Scorsese. His sequel, many years later, sequel to The Hustler, starring Paul Newman. Paul Newman is back as Fast Eddie Felson, and Tom Cruise is his somewhat interesting protege.
Yeah.
Tell me about why this one stands out to you, because I think it's a film that in the dual filmographies, or 3 filmographies of Paul Newman, Tom Cruise, and Martin Scorsese, not one I don't think it's a light shined on quite
Ridiculous.
enough. But
Fucking
I think
ridiculous.
it's a beautifully made film.
Totally. And like, I don't know. I do not understand how this isn't considered like a top tier Scorsese, or maybe that's a testament to how good Scorsese is. Like that, this is a kind of low bar like movie. But I don't know. I remember seeing this movie and it just was fucking mind blowing. I think this was actually the movie, this and Risky Business, that set the proper Cruise. What do you say? Cruise obsession in motion. Like, I was actually trying to do like at end of last year. I was trying to have a Tom Cruise party. Because you've heard about the cake that he sends to
I've
everybody.
heard about this cake. Tell me about the cake, though.
The coconut bunt cake, I believe it's called. I was in LA at the start of the year and I meant to go try it, but it's like so expensive. Anyway, I'm gonna try and make it and watch a bunch of Tom Cruise movies. Probably these 3. I don't know where I was going with that, but. Sorry, what were we talking about?
Color of Money, yeah.
Sorry, Color of Money.
Drama.
Color of Money. I don't know. I just think it's weird because it was a sort of was it a bomb or did it do really well?
I don't really know how.
It's in an awkward era for.
Yeah, because
Scorsese.
the main thing it's known for is that it's like
It's a money job.
It's a money job.
Yeah.
Scorsese comes on post like Raging Bull, post like it's almost like in his forgotten 80s era, which I think is now getting more.
I think so. Yeah.
More love towards it, especially with After Hours.
King
But like
of
this
Comedy
kind
and all
of
that
king
stuff,
of comedy,
yeah.
that era of Scorsese. But he's brought on, and Paul Newman is like revisiting this character. Like he's one of his most iconic characters from The Hustler. And it's the movie that finally earns him his Oscar.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what it was best known for many years. But it's got like this, I think this beautiful, and I'm going to use a word that you hate, juxtaposition.
Hell yeah.
Between Tom Cruise as like the young up and coming and Paul Newman as like the fading washed up. And I think it's like a very, very beautifully done passing of the torch, because it's not an elegant one. Like it's not a perfect, hey, now this guy's the new kid.
Yeah.
It's like so inelegant the way that it does these things. But the way that it kind of captures like this rawness, this intensity between these two actors, and being at different ends of life, the spectrum of life.
Totally. It's kind of like randomly like a father-son movie, kind of, not really. And I feel like, do you agree? Am I the only one losing my mind over The Color of Money? I feel like it's just like the best shit ever.
I think it's a beautiful movie. I've seen it a lot of times in my life.
Yeah.
And like I'm a big Scorsese guy. Like he's, for me, was a big access point to like starting to fall in love with film when I was a young teenager.
Yeah.
And Color of Money was one that eluded me for a little while. And I'm a really big fan of The Hustler. Like it's one of a real favorite film of mine.
I still haven't seen the first one.
You've never seen The Hustler?
No, I haven't seen The
Oh,
Hustler.
I think you'll get so much out of it.
The thing is, I saw I mean, maybe let's just say The Hustler is the prequel to The Color of Money. I'm going to go on record saying that. Yeah.
I think you'll get a lot out of The Hustler.
Yeah. No,
like
I
The
think
Hustler
so.
is a
Yeah.
beloved film, but I think The Color of Money is it's really different.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of that Scorsese style. It's got the Robbie Robertson score, if not score as well, like the found music and everything in it as well. The mixtape feeling of it. But I think it's like the young kind of. It's like this young energy of Tom Cruise. And is it Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio that he's with?
With the girlfriend.
The girlfriend. Like, I think that is her performance in that
She's
film.
great in that movie. Yeah.
I think she might be the best thing in the entire film.
Kind of, yeah.
Like, I think
Yeah.
it's an incredible performance from her.
So good.
But those three together, there's like an absolute marvelous chemistry.
It's
where
a
you're
little
kind of
challenges coded. That
Yeah.
movie, I thought. Like even the way that Scorsese shoots Pool in
Yeah.
all these different angles, the kind of 3 relationship thing, like very challenges coded, surely.
What do you think? I know that's like a longer conversation, but what do you think like the great thesis of Tom Cruise's filmography is?
Holy shit.
Like, what do you think are the themes that are present that come throughout? Maybe even just these 3 films.
I think it's like, it's almost like ability or something, or like conviction. It's something about like, he's always playing someone who's like searching for something and trying to like be like the best at something. And I mean, he's kind of doing that real life too as well too, with like the whole kind of captain of movies thing now. But I don't know. Yeah, I just feel like in every movie that he's always like really. Actually, I take that back. I was about to say he's always like a really good guy, because I'm thinking about Ethan Hunt, and who's like never allowed to do anything bad in his life, but he's a pretty bad dude in Magnolia.
I think he's really good at playing to the movie star, which is like you said, guys with conviction, guys that are really good at what they do, and then being able to play against that or play with that when he needs to. Like Magnolia, he's really good at what he does. Yeah. It's a guy that is probably fucking done a lot of damage to the world and to male psyche. But then Collateral as well, where it's like this... It's a guy who's really good at what he does. What he does is shoot people in the head for money. Yeah,
Minority Report.
Like, I think he's just a brilliant actor. Do you know what I just watched for the first time? I just watched Rain Man for the first time.
Oh, really? That's amazing.
And I think he was fantastic in it. He trumps Dustin Hoffman in that film, in my opinion. Yeah, that's for sure.
That is for sure. But that is an Oscar that does not make sense.
Well, back in the day it might have, but now you just go, God, this guy. What is this guy fucking doing?
Totally. And in Cocktail, he's really good at making cocktails.
He's really good at making... He might be the best that's ever done it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But that is the Tom Cruise triple pack. Magnolia, Risky Business, The Color of Money. 3 excellent films starring one of the great movie stars of all time.
That is the greatest movie star of all time.
You're going on the record? Well, I mean, you've done the picks. You've got to say he's the greatest.
Hell yeah.
Staff pick.
Now we have come to the point of the show where it is my duty to bestow upon you a staff pick recommendation. And I've been trying to think for a while, because I was like, I really want to kind of capture something from one of these 5 movies that we talked about
it's
today.
it's a bit of a spread.
It's an eclectic spread, but there was one thing that kind of felt apparent was, how old are you?
24.
24, you're a burgeoning cinephile. So I want to give you a gift of a film that I think is like a little bit rare, a film that I don't think gets talked about enough, but I think a film that I only really discovered in the last couple of years as well. It's a Polish film called The Hourglass Sanatorium by Wojciech J. Huss.
I've never heard of this movie.
Art House.
This is probably more jumping off of The Beasts, in that it is this kind of almost surrealist exploration of a psyche. I'll give you a bit of a premise of it. It's from 1973. Joseph visits a dilapidated sanatorium to see his father. Joseph undertakes a strange journey through the many rooms of the sanatorium, each which conjures worlds composed of his memories, dreams as nightmares. So this is a real dreamscape type film.
Great cover as well too.
And it captures something of probably more akin to nightmare than dream.
Yeah.
But it is this kind of float through this space, and it's this dilapidated, collapsed kind of sanatorium, and it's accessing memory and accessing dream in an interesting way. And the way that I would describe it is almost like Solaris or something.
Okay.
Where you're exploring the internal through an external, like
through
visualize it
through a movie too,
almost. I don't even know if it's genre. Like, I don't even know how this movie's communicating.
Okay, true.
Like, it's communicating on a really existential level rather than, in the same way it's like not even. It's not slow. Like, it's not a slow cinema film, but it's that kind of transcendental feeling of when you're watching slow cinema, of allowing things to wash over you. And it's based on this book. It's based on a Polish book from 1937.
Crazy.
But this has more. I believe the author of this book, he did not write this book about the Holocaust because it hadn't happened. I think he did die in the Holocaust as well, this author. And I think Wojciech Huss has been able to put that into this adaptation of his book and really bring that in. 1973, this film was meant to screen at Cannes, but the Polish government, because it was showing like this dilapidation of like post-war
Polish,
Poland.
true.
They were like, we're not going to allow this film to
They
go.
just
straight
shut
at
down
Cannes.
movies, didn't they? I heard there's a bunch of movies that they shut down in the 70s.
So this film was meant to premiere at Cannes, and because it's showing like this collapse of this building, kind of collapse of Polish society post World War II, Polish government does not want this to be shown.
Yeah.
So the way it screens at Cannes is Wojciech smuggles the film out of Poland.
Oh, shit, really?
He's got it marked as like different stuff being brought in. He brings it to Cannes. It wins the jury prize, awarded by fucking Ingmar Bergman.
Okay, true. Great.
So this comes
Yeah.
with like quite a high pedigree, this film.
Crazy.
I had never seen this film before. It was like a new discovery for me. This, I think Yellow Veil has been putting out Hourglass, Sanatorium, and a few other films over Wojciech has. But this film just absolutely transfixed me.
Crazy.
Totally beautiful. The way that plays with time, the way it plays with space, it's temporally fascinating as well. Like I just think this is a beautiful, beautiful film. Hopefully, my dream is to screen this film somewhere because I think it
really?
would play
Sick.
so well in a big cavernous,
Yeah.
preferably picture palace of some kind.
If you could like curate like a little like Polish kind of festival.
Yeah, I got to find
Yeah.
someone to do it one day. That's it.
We'll do this.
Let's
man.
do it. I think
Yeah.
you'll get so much out of this, but this is the Hourglass Sanatorium.
Hell yeah, I'm really keen to say it. As I said, like, just never heard anything about this movie or the director, and I thought I was kind of tapped into the Poles, but this looks fucking insane, man. And it's like I saw it's like short stories too.
Yeah. It's kind of a compendium of few of the author's works put together. The author is a famed Polish author, someone who's like quite essential to like Polish literature and Polish like arts.
Yeah.
It is Bruno Schulz.
True. What else has he written? What else has he written?
Off the top of my head, I've got no.
True.
But this has also got a new adaptation. This book, it's got a film that's screened at MIF this year. I missed it there, called Sanatorium Under the Sign of the Hourglass, which is
true.
like an animated claymation type film, I think.
But in English.
Actually, don't know anything about it. I missed it. Almost booked it to see at MIF, but I didn't end up seeing it. But I wish I'd known.
We got the OG here.
If it was,
Yeah.
if I'd known it was the same source material, I would have absolutely gone to see
Yeah,
this film
shit.
there. But that is the Hourglass Sanatorium. Nick, thank you so much for joining me here on the podcast.
Thanks so much for having me, man. It's been a pleasure.
My pleasure to talk some films with you. And hopefully you're going to go home with a few treats. You've got the Hourglass Sanatorium, my stuff pick recommendation. You've got this Tom Cruise triple bill. Tell us the films in that.
Color of Money, Magnolia. Why am I forgetting the last one?
Risky Business.
Risky Business, Minority Report, Vanilla Sky, Top Gun.
No, he's taking the whole Tom Cruise section. You also picked up The Beast, a great new release film. And you also picked up Morvern, Callar, one of my all-time favorite films.
The
Nick,
Firm,
thank you.
Fallout.
No,
Ghost
no,
Reckoning, Dead Reckoning.
No, he's taking all of them. Don't take Dead Reckoning Part 2. We don't have it existing
I'm
anymore.
taking the lot.
No. But thank you so much for joining us here in the last video store.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Have a good one, guys. Why did I say have a good one, guys? I'm not here.
They're always here with us.
They're always here with
They're
us,
always
that's
here.
right.
The last video store.
So that was our chat with the wonderfully cinephilic Nick Ward. Now, remind us, what were our recommendations and picks from Nick?
So he chose The Beast,
Cool movie, yes.
Morvern, Callar,
One of my very favorite films.
and he gamed the system a little bit, but we'll allow it. And he chose a non-existent Tom Cruise box set, and I know that because I googled it, seeing if I could find it.
If we could find something combined together.
Magnolia, Risky Business, and Color of Money.
Great selection of Tom Cruise pictures, and we'll give him that because he brought us he
Yeah.
gave me like 10 movies,
Yeah,
like some
he's
that I
allowed.
actually have kept for me to watch at home.
Awesome.
And my recommendation to him was the Hourglass Sanatorium, wonderful surrealist Polish masterpiece. Track it down. I'm going to whisper this to you right now.
Yeah.
There's a version on YouTube that looks really good.
I want the poster up on my wall. This artwork, Google it right now. Maybe we'll flash on screen. But it's the coolest movie poster I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
It's
that's
awesome.
Polish posters. This is something they
Polish
used to do was
posters.
Polish. They would reinterpret all these films into poster art. The
Uh-huh.
NFSA has quite a few hanging up in their collection.
Yeah.
What did I see? A few Australian movie posters. I think The Last Wave was one of them. They all looked fantastic. But that is the Hourglass Sanatorium. And let's get into our employee of the month because we are getting virtually very, very
Yes.
close to naming and crowning our first employee of the month.
Yes, thanks for your patience.
Thanks for your patience, guys. But I reckon we're pincering down.
Yeah.
Because what I've been doing now, since the intervening weeks of this little program running, I've been going back to all of them. Because I've been doing it for a couple of months, putting what would your recommendation be?
We've been putting the seeds out there.
We've been sprouting seeds since then, and there's a few names that have been coming up quite a lot. And I went all the way back to our first one, which was I put it up for the Zan Rowe episode from a few months back. And here we go. May recognize some names. 2025 in 2025 says they recommend The Last Black Man in San Francisco. It's a fable-like vibe with a strong sense of identity and belonging in a city that's both home and foreign, which I think ties into flow and coming to America nicely. Plus, it has music flowing through its veins, which I'll use as a little tie-in to stop making sense.
Oh, that's great.
See, that is pro. That
real
is
good.
pro. And then another one from one of our regular recommendationers. We've got not Eli Fisher, who first says, if we make a good recommendation, do we get to become a clerk?
Wow.
So they're predictor as well, not just a recommender.
Wow.
And he said, here's my official application. School Days from Spike Lee. Musical numbers, contrast of humor and melodrama. Lawrence Fishburne, the cat from Follow, likes fish. It works on so many levels. So I think that is just absolutely genius from him. And a few really, really good ones in here as well. We got Nick Gerber saying Bowfinger, Popstar Never Stop, Never Stopping. Then also from Adam Lewis Loves You, True Stories and Human Highway for a weirdo rock double bill. So some really good ones in there. But some familiar faces popping up in all these recommendations
That's what we want.
I think that's showing that there's a few people that really had the mettle to be made our first employee of the month.
Wow.
So
I
that
can't believe it's not me. Like, surely I'm
you-
employee of the year.
you're in the pantheon. You're a bit above that, in fact. You know, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have a job. So you know, we're senior staff.
True,
Senior
true.
staff.
And management. You
We're
can't make
at-
management employee of the month.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
That's
yeah.
you know that's like fascism or something like that. You know.
Yes, we're not a fascist
We're not.
podcast.
No. That we're in the admin. That's all.
Yeah.
So that is Employer of the Month program. If you want to be considered to win like a little prize, be celebrated as an Employee of the Month of the Last Video Store, comment on our Instagram or the Spotify for this episode what your recommendation would be for this chat.
Hell yeah.
Until next time, we'll see you at the movies, baby.